Now, it doesn't take a genius to know that sticking to any sort of diet can be quite challenging. And let's be real, I'm not sure the exact statistics, but it's something like 80% of people fail their diet within the first few weeks. And anytime you talk to anyone about fat loss or trying to get in shape, the biggest thing they say they struggle with is just staying on track with their diet. Maybe you've tried a diet that's too extreme, like keto or carnivore. You try to completely alienate certain food groups like carbs and realize that's not realistic for most people. Or maybe you just felt ill from doing that. Or maybe you've done fasting, tracking your calories, if it fits your macros, eating high protein, intuitive eating. There's a million and one diets, and every day you open Instagram or YouTube, there's a new diet out. And obviously, you know, we already kind of know it's just about the calories, right? But this is not a calorie deficit video. There's a reason why you struggle to stick to your diet, and it's very, very simple. And that is just based on how your body and brain rewards you for what you eat. For example, if you're overweight, you've probably indulged in fun, exciting, brain stroking food, should we say, right? It's like your brain rubbing one out. So if you eat a pizza, your brain's like, yippee, amazing, woo, all the salt, all the fat, all the absolute, you know, flavor enhancers, etc. Blasting your brain with dopamine, right? A little braingasm because you've eaten a nice, delicious pizza. And then once you've had all that salt, your body's going, well, damn, I need something sweet now. Where's the ice cream at? And you get the same thing. You get the sugar rush. You get this absolute adrenaline. Amazing, right? Food's addicting, and we all know that. And then when you get to look in the mirror and you see a bit of a belly and a bit of a pouch, or you see someone that's mogs you, that's a word apparently, on the beach, or just for some reason you just hit that wall. Every person hits that wall where they just go, I need to get in shape. I don't like what I'm seeing here. I need to do better. I need to get on it. And then you start the diet and you've got to realize, well, I can't have the pizza, I can't have the ice cream, and can't have my nice shin cup ramens, and I've got to eat, what have I got? I have chicken, broccoli and rice. God, that's boring. And you eat it and it's like, hello, where's the taste? What's going on? So it's not appealing, right? A diet's hard. Now, you're going to get a lot of alpha male macho guys going, oh, bro, food's for fuel. And they are right. Oh, just eat it, bro. And that's cool. Some people can do that, but most people cannot. And if you cannot, then, you know, you're going to struggle to stick to the diet. So there's a way around this. There's several ways around it. There's no one way to get in shape, let me tell you. But what is important to understand is why you struggle. Now, it could be environmental. You might be living with people, family members saying, here, I bake some cookies, eat them. You know, or we're going out for a pub lunch. You've got to have some food. And I got some clients that go out for business meals and they can't sit there going, oh, let me just whip out a tin of fish, guys. So sometimes it is environmental and social. But the main thing is it's not appealing to eat the boring foods at the start. Because when you're eating now, you're eating for excitement, entertainment, addiction, pleasure. You want to enjoy it, right? And who doesn't? So when you think to yourself, I need to start a diet, you're basically telling yourself, right, I got to stop enjoying food. Hello, face? Where are you? I need to eat boring food that I don't want. And you might be able to do it in the moment when you're motivated, because motivation is an emotion. So it comes and goes. You feel motivated, you do it, and you get bored. And then you crave the food you want, and all it takes is one phone call from your mate going, hey, fancy a Nando's? Oh, all right, I'll be there. And then you cave in, and it's one domino, and it knocks everything over, and you stop going to the gym, blah, blah, blah. A story told 1,000 times. You can already relate to this, right? So what I find helps me is think about it is every time you fancy the food, whenever it is you're trying to do the diet, think to yourself, there's two paths, okay? You can eat the food that you want and feel good for like 5-10 minutes now, but then feel crap later on for like the whole day, maybe the next day when you wake up and look in the mirror or get on the scales, or when you get on your vacation and realize you could have done better. So you enjoy it for 10 minutes now, instant gratification, and then misery afterwards, right? That's a bit dramatic, but misery afterwards. Or you can go, okay, right, well, I really want the Five Guys burger, but I said I was having a Greek yogurt. So you have the Greek yogurt, and it's not actually that bad, is it really? And at the beginning you feel like you're missing out, but once your stomach's full and you don't feel oversaturated and your brain hasn't crashed from dopamine, and you've also realized you're on track, you now get dopamine for a different reason. You get dopamine because of an achievement. You get dopamine for delayed gratification. You get dopamine because you wake up the next day, you look in the mirror and you're seeing a little bit more definition. The scales are coming down. You're feeling better. You feel good about yourself. You're starting to prove to yourself that you can do it, which means you become competent. And if you feel competent and you trust yourself, guess what? You're going to feel confident. And then the physique and the results and motivation will follow. So that's how I look at it. Yes, I want the flipping Papa John's, mate. I want to go and get some soy, garlic, honey, Korean fried chicken and wash it down with a nice Hawkstone cider. But I know once I've done that, after those 10 minutes wear off, I'm going to feel like a sack of shit, to be quite frank. And that's not to villainize food. That's not to say you can never have that. Of course you can. You can be flexible. And if you're reverse dieting or bulking, you can fit those things in. But if you're trying to stick to a diet right now to get a result, you need to realize, well, how am I going to feel once I've had it? Is it worth it? Probably not. And then you think, okay, well, let me get used to having the good food and remind myself that I'm not eating for pleasure now, I'm eating for pleasure later. Delayed gratification. It is so powerful and so important. And once you get a taste of that delayed gratification, you eat the yogurt, oh, that was boring, I didn't have my burger, and then later on you think, oh, actually, I stayed on track, I made the right choice. I feel pretty good about that. Actually, I'm feeling more self-belief. And actually, the scales are lighter and I'm looking good in the photos. And someone at work said I look like I've lost one of my chins. Fantastic. Can't wait to have that again. And you stick to it. So it's kind of, you've got to reverse it. Instead of going, I'm hungry, what's exciting? Go, cool, I'm hungry. Let me eat for what I'm trying to achieve and I will feel good later. Same with the gym. You go to the gym, don't really want to be here, tired, exhausted. Trust me, people think that people that are in shape or people that go to the gym actually like it. Very rarely do we like it. I didn't want to go to the gym today. I got a headache. Can't be bothered. Didn't want to go. But I went because I know that it's halfway through when my heart rate's up and the endorphins are flowing and I feel good and the tunes are hitting hard. I'll feel good. And guess what? I feel fucking fantastic, even with my little headache. So it's so important to understand delay the gratification. When it comes to the food temptation, think how are you going to feel when you have it and how are you going to feel if you choose a better option. And trust me, you want a better option. I went on vacation in February after making several good decisions, which were very difficult to do. I wanted the Five Guys. That was based on a true story. My girlfriend had a Five Guys. I had a yogurt, and I'm just looking at the yogurt going, this is not a Five Guys. I want the burger. And I had it, and it was sad. It was miserable. But then one day I felt full from the yogurt, and I was like, do you know what? I feel good. The next day I got up, got on the scales, 1/4 pound down. I'm on track. Went on my vacation, took my shirt off, and I was like, happy days. Felt fantastic. Do not underestimate how good you will feel once you build a physique and then get to go and enjoy it. Trust me, it's amazing. So look, bit of a tangent, bit of a story there, but I just wanted to give you a realistic, real world view without all the woo-woo of how diets are difficult, why they're difficult, and what you need to do to fix it. That's the best thing. Now look, you won't get anywhere unless your calories are correct. You could eat Papa John's and be in a deficit and make progress. You can eat Greek yogurt and have too much of it and gain weight. So the calories are the be all end all. There is room to be flexible when needed, but the bottom line is you won't get results unless you know your numbers. So to know your numbers 100% correct, I have a free nutritional blueprint. I put it in every video because this is what I needed 6 years ago to get progress. This will show you how to work out your calories, how to adjust them, and what macronutrient splits you should have, and how to adjust it as and when. Get that, pay attention to your calories, and you will get that. It's not rocket science, it's just hard to do. Let me know if this helps. Any questions, ask ChatGPT. Oh, and like and subscribe.